well, dinner theatre was the way a lot of us got started. Well, people like Vaughan, and Sean Wright, they were and Sean Clark, they were in shows at Theatre St. Thomas. That's how they all got started, I think. And a lot of the people from Theatre St. Thomas got involved in the Comedy Asylum when we started. But we weren't doing improv at the beginning or anything like that. The first play we did was The Good Doctor.
I was going to say it was Chekhov.
Yeah, it was Chekhov as adapted by Neil Simon, along with something called Pilk's Madhouse. We put them together. And I was in a dressing room at the Ship years ago, and somehow this subject came up, and there were 4 of us in the show that somebody said something about Pilk's Madhouse, and Nikki Littman went, I was in Pilk's Madhouse, and Brian Hennessy went, I was in Pilk's Madhouse. Peter Elliott, I wasn't, and I was. So we all were in different versions of it. Absolutely crazy play, which went really well with The Good Doctor. So that was our first show. And I can't remember what else we did. We did a lot of different things, largely scripted. We did Murder at the Howard Johnson's, which we called Murder at the Wanlin Inn. And we did...
Was that something you guys wrote?
No, that's written by Sam Clark and Ron Bobrick from
Murder
the States.
At the Howard Johnsons?
At the Howard Johnsons, yeah. Don't tell them that we called it the Wanlin Inn. And then we did, I can't remember everything we did, but
you toured
we did
as well.
Key Exchange. Yeah, we toured all over the Maritimes. Oh, yeah. I will.
There was a scene, there was a circuit for...
Well, it was the Wanlin Inn, so we toured to Moncton at Magnetic Hill, the old Wanlin Inn. And I mean, it was really relatively, well, everybody else was really young. I wasn't that young, I was a little older. But, we were in the Moncton Wanlin. We put the stage at the end of the room, and the people were all there and sitting at all the tables. And the only way to get backstage was to run outside, down a hill, and then behind, in the winter, in the rain, And so we used to do, that's the kind of thing it was. We'd put 4 tables on a platform somewhere in a banquet room and put a plaid carpet over it. That was in Cape Breton, no doubt. And do private lives. We did private lives. And... yeah, there's some very funny memories from days. Everybody has funny memories that mostly they can't talk about from days like that, right? But we did that for quite a long time, and we were completely independent. I mean, Marshall started working as a waiter at the Wanlin Inn here in Fredericton, and the manager, Lou Rolifson, had been on a cruise and seen dinner theatre, and he wanted to do it, and he knew Marshall. I don't know if you know Marshall, but Marshall as a waiter was probably making people laugh a lot.
Sure.
Goofy around.
Yeah.
And I don't know how good a waiter he was, but anyway, people loved him, I'm sure. So Lou got talking to him about dinner theatre, and then Marshall got a whole bunch of people together. Norm Foster was at that first meeting, Alfred Paul Elias, a whole lot of people from Theatre St. Thomas, Kathy and Michael McHugh, the two Seans, and Vaughan. And so then it became a business arrangement, kind of, and it was worked out between Marshall and Lou originally. And then Lou actually sort of arranged for us to tour, and he had a lot of support from Charlie Llewellyn and Gary Llewellyn. Charlie started the Wanlin Inns, and Gary was his son who took over. And there were several managers across. Oh my God, we had fun. And we toured everywhere, and we were doing it without any support other than from the Wanlin and the money that was coming in at the door. And they were making money.
So you would go to these places, you would perform, and they'd probably put you up for the night.
Oh yeah, and our dressing rooms.
I can't imagine
some of the parties
how much fun that would be.
Some of the parties are still on my face. So yeah, we had a great time, and we did it for a while, and we did it like 4 times a year, I think, something like that.
You did.
And Ilke and Liz Goodyear and I in 85, I think. We had all sort of gone our separate ways, and I think we were on hiatus at that point. Maybe not yet. And then the 3 of us got together and wrote a play. There was a new manager at the Wanlin who didn't know anything about dinner theatre because we had been away for a while. So we went to him and said we could do this, and I don't think he quite believed us. And then the opening night, and nobody there. There were still staff there that remembered how it had worked, because Lou really did a good job. And then we all knew how to do it because we all waited on tables as well. So opening night of that show, I was downstairs grabbing coat racks out of rooms downstairs and putting them upstairs because nobody knew. And the staff that did know were just sort of going, well, they'll figure it out. Anyway, we convinced him that it would work. But then he asked us to do it again, but we didn't.
We wrote the play in the
basement of the Justice Building.
Yeah.
Next to where Gallery Connection was, we were across the hall from them.
Writing a play in all that
In this
dust
awful
and debris.
basement. And Liz Goodyear makes the best brownies ever.
That's right.
And that's all we ate for weeks and weeks and weeks. We all lost weight. We looked marvelous.